Here we go. Wide 80. Waiting. Here we go. Wide 80. Waiting. Waiting. Here we go. Wide 80. Waiting. Here we go. Wide 80. Waiting. Waiting.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, in Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D as their guys will do battle with the Detroit Lions. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Jamal Agnew now to return it. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop. Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. This is the newest member of the Lion backfield, LeGarrette Blount. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Now Riddick. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Stafford. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And now look at him go. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. And credit the tackle to Taco Charlton with a stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping was big.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Taco Charlton able to drop him for a loss of 4. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Play clock down to 0, And this is not the way to start a drive. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
On the counter, Elliott. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step.
46.
Second down, Prescott. Airing it out for Hearns. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's the 2014 NFL interception leader, Glover Quinn. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
Now Stafford. Flushed out right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
No grounding call there. He had a receiver near the right sideline. It was pretty clear there. He just needed to get rid of that one.
And he did have a receiver in the area, but initially my view was obstructed, and I thought that was going to be grounding, but clearly the correct call made, and that is no call.
Is that why you threw your play sheet down? Is that why you did it? Was that the flag?
You can't be giving me up. I got a lot of issues up here in the booth. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle. Throwing on third down, Stafford. Out to the flat for Riddick. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
51 yards on the punt there. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with Elliott. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
A second down throw for Prescott. Looking and finding Allen Hearns. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. They were looking for a cushion from that end zone. He gave it to him. 15 big yards. And now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, 1st and 10. A first down carry by Elliott. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. Second down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott sliding out of the pocket. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's third down.
46, 46. We're going to 54. Wide in. 26.
On third down, it's Prescott. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jared Davis. And he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. The Lions had the fewest third down conversions on the ground in the NFL in 2017. What will they do here on 3rd and short? Now they'll run it on the toss. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And out now come the Cowboys. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Glover Quinn there on the stop.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. On 2nd down, Elliott. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. He hits Beasley right side. A Dallas 1st down. Prescott hooking up with Beasley.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Presley, and he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
There you go. All right, hey.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Here we go, 46, 46. 26, 26.
Prescott to throw this time. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jared Davis. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Following the penalty, it's 1st and 5, and you got to think offensively, all kinds of options.
47, 47. Here we go.
Again to Elliott. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Nevin Lawson there on the tackle.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long.
46. Here we go.
Prescott from the gun. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation. But sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
On the ground, it's Riddick. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. Finds Roberts left side. Still going. Oh, what a juke into space. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. His first catch, good for 14 there and a 1st down. Stafford now just 3 of 6 throwing it, but that last completion gets a 1st down. To throw is Stafford. Flush to his right. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the 2nd quarter, it has been a struggle. And Tate's got it. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. First catch so far for Tate, and he's got a 1st down. On 1st and 10, Stafford. Buying time to his left. And he has his receiver. That's Jones. Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions are in for 6. Now Matt Prater for the point after. Prater for the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. They'll pitch it out to Elliott. And he's got some space here. He finds an opening past the 40. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Let's go. Let's finish now.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
There you go.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Devon Kennard coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Back deep is the former Seahawk, Golden Tate. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. As they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So the Cowboys will punt it on 4th down, as on is the veteran Chris Jones to kick it away. Back deep for the Lions, it's Golden Tate. Taken in at the 11. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Lions will take over. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And to the left side here, Wilson. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. The shotgun snap for Stafford. Throwing deep for Galladay. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on. 3rd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. Are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And he won't get to the marker as they're going to stop it for a 2nd straight play right at the line of scrimmage. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. As the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10.
Here we go, 46. Here we go, 26.
A second down throw for Prescott. He's airing it out for Williams. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down. The Cowboys on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get up here to the 26. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Coach. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Credit the tackle that time to Deshaun Hand.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Prescott completes it to Hearns. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. To throw is Prescott. And he's got Ezekiel Elliott. And all the way down to the 26. It's a big play there on 3rd down. 41 yards.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
Now a carry here for Presley. And down inside the 15 he goes. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person that's on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching. And there was another first down run right there.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter. Prescott now on 2nd down. And he slings one that's incomplete. He was looking to get it to Allen Hurns that time. And it's 3rd down. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Here we go, 46. Here we go, 46. Switch to the 46.
Here's Prescott. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
To return, here's Agnew. And some space here. He's at the 50, 30, the 20, 10, touchdown, Detroit. As his guys are in for 6, and the Lions add on to their lead. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
The tackle made there by Jared Davis.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking.
Oh, Prescott stripped. But I believe a Cowboy was there to get it. He was, and Dallas will maintain possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because This is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, 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 gone.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. He's airing it out for Williams. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's fourth. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for me? Can I create a penalty downfield, maybe pick up an interference call and get that yardage downfield? Anything trying to get going again, but you're right. He definitely took a shot.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there at 22. Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to air one out. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Here's Riddick. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. Escaping the pressure right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, there it's silly, and it leads to a play action sack. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And this one caught by Beasley. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
And he is able to take this way down into Detroit territory. A big run that time by Elliott. 61 yards that time on the ground. The Cowboys last year, 18 rushing touchdowns, tied for 2nd in the league, and they've got Elliott back there, 2nd and goal. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
As huge a threat as Ezekiel Elliott is with the ball in his hands in the run game, I have to believe that the Cowboys want to continue to expand him in the passing game. Excellent hands, can run nice routes. They don't just have to throw it to him on screens either. They can make him an integral part of the passing game and increase their offense.
58 catches through his first 2 years, so you expect that total to go up.
I think that he can get 58 catches in 1 year if they choose to concentrate on it.
He's going to get it running right. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
And, Brandon, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Back now in Arlington. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. They come out here in the eye. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal. Well, Zeke's having a great game here, Charles, in the second half. What was the difference rookie season to second season? Because he went from 5.1 yards per carry to 4.1.
Well, inconsistency. Remember, his second year, Zeke was in and out of the lineup a little bit, as well as his offensive line, where the front 5 pretty much played the entire way his rookie year. Last year, there were guys in and out of the lineup due to injuries as well. Not the same continuity.
Well, things are clicking here in this one for him. They'll run it with Elliott. And this winds up a disaster. Nowhere near the marker. Ezekiel Elliott unable to punch it in. And the Lion defense able to come up there with a goal line stand. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Reddick with a carry. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. And down inside the red zone at the 19-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Detroit! Detroit! Now let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
White on 2nd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sylvester Williams getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now White throwing on 3rd and long. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And his kick is good. And that'll get the lead down to 5. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And Detroit getting set to go now. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, it's Boykin. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. David Irving. With a great push up front, he picks up the sack and a loss of 8. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Out of the gun, Stafford. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let him outside where they can really shred your defense.
That goes for a gain of 31. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
On the run, this is Preston. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Detroit! Detroit! Set! 3-19! 3-19!
To throw on 2nd down, here's White. Unable to corral him, he fights through. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. A 20th carry here for Elliott. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, But to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
And now what the heck is this? A punt formation from the red zone?
I think we can figure out why they went for two there, right? Up one, you want to make it a field goal difference if at all possible. They didn't get it. Now they've got to play some defense down the stretch.
Yeah, not much margin for error now for your D. They just have to get it into range. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Lions. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Back to throw. He hits Riddick underneath. And he's able to get up here to the 26. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll make it a second down.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Tried to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final two plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
The Lions on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. He's back to throw. It's brought in left side by Tate. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. Matthew Stafford, 4 game-winning drives a year ago. Remember, he had an NFL record 8 in 2016. What can he and the Lions do here? He'll look to throw. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one goes for 36 yards. He's been quiet all afternoon. He may have just come up with a play of the day right there, though.
Obviously, it's not the volume in which you get done. It's the quality, and that was a quality catch right there.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster. And a strange one here, a little befuddled. They're sending out the field goal unit now. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 yards on the run there, but it'll leave him with a definite 3rd and long on the horizon. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This to take the lead here in the final minute. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. Oh, they'll try and sneak this. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
I'm a little surprised right here. They've got 3 timeouts left. The clock's running down, and they aren't using them. Those timeouts do you no good at home. Use them now.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. He made his only attempt earlier. This for the win. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. And you know, in an era of cost-cutting and maximizing your roster, this is a club that does not skimp on special teams, and in these situations, it pays dividends.
And that's great vision by the organization. When the difference between winning or losing depends on who you have kicking the ball, would you rather have a street free agent out there or a solid pro like this? Answer's pretty evident to me.
Well, this one, partner, was fun down to the very end. They got the points late, right before.